place that people will flock to. So that's probably enough from me. Deputy Premier, just throw over to you for a few words and then we'll take a few questions.
Very good, thank you. Well, this is a sneak peek at the Brisbane of the future. Queen's Wharf, Brisbane and Cross River Rail were the foundations on which we bid for the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games, and now you can really see them starting to come together. Imagine the Brisbane of 2032. You'll be able to catch the train and get off in the city at our first new inner city station down at Albert Street. Come up the hill here to this incredible world-class integrated resort development. You'll be able to walk across the river. We're building a new theatre there at QPAC, or you could go up Roma Street to the new Brisbane Arena, head through South Bank, through our new priority development area to the new Gabba, cross the river again at the Brisbane City Council's new bridge to the Dexus development and the City Botanic Gardens, and you're back at the Albert Street station. That's what the Brisbane of 2032 will look like. It's an incredible vision coming together for our great city. Of course, all of those projects create jobs in construction, and you can see that right here at Queen's Wharf. But once it's open, there will be thousands of workers here. The place will be bustling, and it will be somewhere that people come from around the city, around the region, around the state, the country, even the world to see and experience. It's incredibly exciting. You sure? We're happy to take questions.
When that's happening, is that on the right construction timeline, that kind of thing?
Very happy to answer that one. So look, construction, as we called out about 2 months ago, the construction is on schedule. We're looking for an opening in the late in this calendar year, and we're looking to open as much as possible as we can. As I mentioned, 50 new restaurants and bars, the Sky Deck area, open area eating. So we're looking to bring that all on board by the end of this year.
Obviously, looking around, we've still got a little bit of a ways to go. What's kind of the next steps that are happening up here?
So we're bringing on board all the elements of the Sky Deck. So the next major piece is another major lift connecting the Sky Grand and the residential tower. So that's on track for the next few weeks. So the bridge is super exciting. Connecting South Bank to this precinct is amazing. We're very close, so we've got 2 more sections to install, and that should happen in the next few weeks.
Will that be quite challenging, that bridge?
Look, the bridge has gone really well. The bridge has come together, and you can see it's magnificent. So we're not worried about bringing those last 2 pieces in. It's on schedule, and it's looking really good.
And compared to developments and infrastructure around the state, how unique is it going to be to have something like this in Brisbane?
This is the biggest non-mining piece of infrastructure for Queensland. So it's very impressive this has come together. It's been in the making over a decade. It's a very large construction job, $3.6 billion. 2,000 workers at peak have worked on this construction site, and it's gone very well. So we're so pleased with the progress. Very difficult project. Weather got in our way, floods got in our way, COVID got in our way, but we've come through it. And as you can see, it is a magnificent asset for Brisbane. So we are bringing our full team from the Treasury across, and they're super excited about coming on board. That's about 1,500 team members. We've then got thousands more team members that come across as we bring this project on stream. So there's thousands of jobs, new jobs being created.
With the stars going through a bit of a tumultuous time at the moment, how does that impact this project?
Look, no ducking it. The Star has had some challenges, and we're leaning into that. We are on the path to regaining our suitability. We're working closely with regulators. That is completely separate, though, to this project. This project has continued, and we continue to focus on delivering this for Brisbane, for Queensland, and for Australia.
The public that's itching to get up here, is it going to cost anything to come up once it's done?
So this will be a public space, as will the green spaces below, which are also magnificent. So you'll be Queenslanders, Brisbaneites will be able to come up here, have a drink, have a meal, and just enjoy the view. And as I said, this will be the Instagram spot in Brisbane. This will be where most selfies in Brisbane actually happen.
How many people can we fit up here?
Now that's one I'm going to hand over to Simon.
The answer is 1,500 people. So it'll spread right the way across. Behind you are 2 of the restaurants, and then just Behind the cameraman there is the main bar, and just right on the leading edge is one of those glass decks, so you can stand there and scare yourself looking down, which I'm not going to do. Sorry, Robbie.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Why were firearms dealers able to legally sell ammunition to the Daniel train despite this gun licence being suspended?
That's a question that we'll have to refer to the policeman's office, but we can get you a response.
Is that concerning though to you that when you hear something like that?
Look, of course it is, but I'm not across the details of it, so let us get you a detailed response.
Definitely, just in regard to Jenny Guthrie's death, cops reported a few times over last week before she was found dead. Why wasn't anything done before it was too late?
Look, again, that's a question that will need to be referred to police, but we're happy to get you a response from the police service.
Deputy Premier, just on the Olympics, because of yesterday when it was announced, press release mentioned that the complexity of building on a constrained site can go together. Really rebuilding it is cheaper than trying to make it modern and accessible. How much would a renovation of the Gabba?
So we assessed various options for different redevelopments at the Gabba. They all came in at roughly similar amounts, but with a far inferior outcome. So we've taken the decision, therefore, based on that very detailed analysis, to go ahead with a major rebuild of the Gabba. As I say, compared to other renovation options, it was a roughly similar amount. They all came in at roughly $2.5 billion.
In relation to Brisbane Live, how will the construction of that, what will the construction of that mean for the Wharf Street Park?
The intention for the new Brisbane Arena is to build it over rail, the new Cross River Rail station at Roma Street, so that will not affect the amount of green space that's available under the PDA.
Will that mean that we'll have to close the Roma Street train station for a little bit?
We'll be working through the details of what disruptions that might cause. We have engineers working on that right now.
How many homes will need to be resumed at Raymond Park? Why haven't they been consulted and notified, and what will they mean?
Our intention at Raymond Park is to maintain the park and return it to at least its current size after the Olympics. There may be small impacts on residential properties. We're talking less than half a dozen properties there. We have been in constant contact with those landholders. It's not unusual for major government projects to have some impact on land holdings, but we have well-established processes for consulting with homeowners, for working through with them the impacts on them and their properties.
Do you regret your criticisms of the council magistrate last week?
Well, now that some of those matters are under appeal, I'm not able to comment further, but you all heard what I had to say, and I stand by my comments.
On the PDA, I guess it's kind of cool that we can.
Yes. It's like we planned it that way.
I guess, can you talk us through, what else we could expect from that? And also, in the, Southeast Queensland CBD, or Western Sydney that way, there was mention of a First Nations cultural centre. Will that be part of this PDA?
All of the great Olympics also deliver lasting legacy in terms of urban renewal and affordable housing. And the announcement we made yesterday to expand the Gabba PDA is all about delivering urban renewal from South Bank through to the Gabba, effectively expanding the city through to the Gabba. It will deliver thousands more affordable homes for key workers, so workers can live and work near the city. It will fully realise the benefits of the new interchange where Cross River Rail will meet the Brisbane Metro, and who wouldn't want to live near the world's best oval stadium that we will build at the Gabba. So that is the vision for the city, effectively expanding South Bank to the Gabba. I think it's incredibly fitting given that South Bank is that great legacy of Expo 88 and the Gabba will be that great legacy of Brisbane 2032, and the two will be brought together with this new PDA. So it will allow us to deliver greater density, more infrastructure, more homes for Queenslanders, and make sure that people can realise the benefits of both Cross River Rail and the Gabba. So that's the vision there. In terms of the Indigenous Cultural Centre, we continue to engage with First Nations leaders to determine what they want, what they think is the most appropriate and fitting way of recognising their culture. And we're absolutely determined to embed into our plans for Brisbane 2032 a celebration of our First Nations cultures. A lot needs to happen between now and then. We have the vote on the voice. We are pursuing a treaty. And those things will form a fantastic foundation for us to move beyond reconciliation and into celebration. And that's really what I hope, where I hope we are by 2032.
Deputy Premier, just back to DV, how many women need to die before police take DV more seriously, and what will the DV inquiry achieve?
Well, I think you've seen our government take domestic and family violence incredibly seriously. It's been a focus since we were first elected. Most recently, we've had that review into police handling of domestic and family violence, and we are in the process of implementing those findings. So we will continue to do what we can to improve the lived experience of women and family members. No amount of domestic or family violence is okay, but the government's job is to respond to what is happening in those households, to make sure police have the support and training and resources that they need to respond, and of course that support services are there to support victims.
Do you think it's acceptable that some kids are being held in watch houses for up to 6 weeks?
Well, the nature of the laws that we brought in, which increased the presumption against bail, mean that more young offenders are being held in detention. We always said that that would be the result of putting more people in detention would be that there would be more people in detention, and that is.
Watch house as well, that this isn't, detention centres.
Well, so our police and youth justice work very carefully to maximise the utilisation of our youth detention centres, but in those occasions where they are unable to detain people in detention, then unavoidably some will be held in watch houses. We will continue to resource both police and youth justice to both make sure that we have as much capacity available in youth detention as possible, but also make sure that all of those support services that are provided in youth detention are also available in watch houses when unavoidably young people are there. I'd like to make this point though. All of the young people in watch houses and nearly 90% of the young people in detention are either on remand or recently charged. So almost all of them are waiting for their matters to be dealt with by the courts. So the best thing we can do to live within our youth detention capacity is to fast-track sentencing to get our courts working more efficiently so that those matters can be heard sooner. Look, it's a big state. We're all very busy. We endeavour to get to as much of the state as we possibly can. I think the fact we had two ministers there speaks to both how much we understand the concerns of the Toowoomba community.
Back to the Brisbane Arena quickly. You mentioned that engineers are looking at it right now. I guess when will we find out the results of that?
Well, now that the funding is in place, we will be able to move forward with more certainty around the planning for all of these venues. I know that every day you all want every piece of information. We provided a lot more information yesterday that you'd been asking for some time. We'll continue to provide information at the time that it's settled and appropriate. There's a lot of detailed planning yet to go into, particularly those two big projects, but we are working through it in a very deliberate way. I hope you can see that from the project validation process, the negotiation of the IGA, now that we have the funding in place, moving forward with more detailed designs.
What's your message to the residents of East Brisbane Kangaroo Point who didn't want this
Look, I think most people who live around the Gabba are excited about these plans to build a fantastic new stadium, excited that we will deliver them a brand new state school, excited that they're going to have the city's second biggest transport interchange available to them, as well as an active walking corridor to South Bank and to the Botanic Gardens. So while unavoidably some of these projects have an impact on a small number of people, the benefits to the region are enormous.
How much is the government set aside in terms of how much money they'll need to spend resuming property?
The property resumptions, even at the highest end, are very, very small. It's a very, very small number and a very, very small financial impact on the budget. Thank you.